Hey, welcome to Essential Oil Basics. I'm glad you're here with me. Um, I'm just going to go over some safety tips, some usage ideas, and application of the oils and quality, probably about how to use them and which ones, how to decide which ones to use. So we'll just jump right into it. Essential oils can be used in three ways. Typically, you can use them aromatically. So that's often in a diffuser, or it's by using a diffuser necklace on your wrist, not on your wrist. I guess your wrist would be topical. On a diffuser necklace or a diffuser bracelet or your pillowcase, something like that. So aromatically, you're just breathing it through the air. Topically would be putting it on your skin. So often you'll see somebody with essential oils that has a roller bottle like this. This is a 10 milliliter roller bottle. It has a little stainless steel ball there. You want steel or glass so it doesn't break down. The oils don't break it down and the ball falls out and all of a sudden you've got oils all over. Nobody wants that. And then the last way is to ingest oils. So if you want to use oils to ingest, make sure that you have ones that are labeled for that. One reason why I like Young Living is because they have their Vitality line, which is labeled for ingestion. So you know which ones are okay to ingest, and it says how much and those kind of things. If you're using citrus oils, you want to make sure you stick with a stainless steel or a glass cup because the oils could break down the plastic, and you don't want that. You don't want to be ingesting any of that plastic. I really like to use a silicone straw instead of a plastic straw. Stainless steel straws are great. They're just harder to come by. But I like the silicone straw because it's made of sand. It's actually a natural plasticky type material and it's safe. So if it breaks down, it's just sand. It's not chemicals that you're getting in your body. Um, Last safety thing is that some oils can be photosensitive. So lemon, your citrus oils, lemon, orange, bergamot, grapefruit. If you put those on your skin and then you go out in direct sunlight, there's a higher chance that you'll get sunburned. So you want to make sure that if you're going to go out in the sun and you've applied those oils, that you put something on to cover the area that you applied, or that you put sunscreen on, or you just avoid the sunlight, direct sunlight, for like 12 hours usually. Um, yeah, and then the next safety tip is actually an application. So when you use oils topically, you should be diluting them. So on most oil bottles, if you look on the label, you're not going to be able to see this at all because the writing is really hard to read. But if you look on the label, a lot of times if you pull the label back, it'll tell you what oils are in the blend. And two, it'll tell you how many drops of essential oil to use to carrier oil. So a carrier oil is what we use to dilute the essential oil. So it's not so strong on the skin. I like to use the organic fractionated coconut oil I get this from Walmart. It's about $11. This is a really big bottle. Like, look, it's as big as my head. It's a really big bottle, so it lasts a long time. I like to put it I thought I had a dropper bottle here, but I like to put it in a dropper bottle because it's easier to put into things like my roller bottles, or to just get one drop in my hand is much easier out of a dropper bottle than this giant thing. But it's just fractionated organic coconut oil. So that what it does is when we put something on our skin, it absorbs right into our system within seconds. And if we have something that's really strong absorbing into our skin, it can cause irritation. So cinnamon, peppermint, clove, anything that makes you, like, when you smell it, you go, whoo, whoo, that's a lot. That's probably going to be what we call a hot oil. And if it's one of those, you want to make sure that you use a carrier oil to dilute it and just disperse the oil across the skin so it absorbs just slightly slower. It won't reduce the potency of it. It will just slow down the absorption into your skin, which is what we want, especially for infants and elderly. We definitely want to make sure that they have more porous and more sensitive skin. And so we're going to use a little bit higher dilution ratio for them. So once again, look at the labels, use a carrier oil, and use what you want. As far as ingesting oils, you just make sure you look at the label and know what you're ingesting. quality of oils, the reason why I love Young Living, one, they have the Vitality line. So if you see the dark label is labeled for aromatic or topical use, and the white label is Vitality, labeled for ingestion. And I trust Young Living because they have this thing called the seed to seal guarantee. So they know which seed they're picking from their most potent crop previous years. And their farmers are not putting any pesticides or herbicides or fertilizers, nothing on them that can harm you or the plant, because everything is absorbed into that plant, right? Then the harvesting of the plant, I mean, super cool. A lot of it is hand harvested. They pick through it. It's amazing. In France, at the Young Living Farm, they even use sheep to fertilize and to get the weeds out of the lavender fields. Pretty amazing. The sheep don't eat the lavender. Pretty cool. And so then Young Living also distills their own oil. So they grow their own plants. So they own farms all across the world, like 17 farms across the world. The ones that they work with, that they don't own, the farmers work under the seed to seal guarantee. So they do the same protocols across the world at every farm, which is amazing. So then the distillation happens. So they grow the plant and then they distill it. And to distill it, there's either steam distilling, there's cold pressing. Some companies will use chemicals to distill their oils because it gets it out much faster, but it also leaves chemical residue with the essential oils. So then they bottle it, they test it, third-party test, in-house test multiple times, and they make sure that it meets the highest standard that they want and need for their oils, to know that what you're getting at your door is the most potent, most powerful, and exactly what they said they've bottled, which is amazing. So when you smell that peppermint is not going to smell like a candy cane. It's going to smell like a plant. It's going to smell like you went outside and grabbed leaves off of a mint plant and smelt it. And it's just really, it's pretty amazing to smell God's creation in this way, because they're much stronger. They're very strong, but they're great. So I love Young Living. I've been to the farms in Utah and talked to the farmers. It was pretty amazing. They adore the company, but they just love what they're doing. And it's so cool to hear them talking about the growing process and harvesting to help them transplant little seedlings into larger pots until they can get it in the ground and learn from them. It was really cool. So if you ever have the opportunity, I suggest you stop by the farm. They have one in Mona, Utah, one in Idaho, one in Washington, and Banff, Canada too. So lots of places. Okay, so let's talk about different oils. Let's start with lavender. Lavender is really basic. Lavender is like our Swiss Army knife. We use this for everything. It's absolutely amazing for calming the emotions. We use it at night in our diffuser. So our diffuser, we take off these two tops. So this one's just decorative, and then this one has a little nub inside of it, and this one helps diffuse it. So you've got your atomizer plate inside there, and that makes it so it's like itty bitty particles coming out. You put in about 5 to 10 drops, depending on what oil you're using. Start low and slow and see how you like it. Don't drop 10 drops in at first and think, oh, it's going to be great. And then all of a sudden you're like, I can't handle it. It's too much. Then you pour water. If you're on city water, you're probably okay to just pour that in. Well water, you want to use something that's distilled and filtered. But there's a line in here. So you see the nook here, that's the line at the top. Well, there's a line in here, so you fill it up to there. And then you can, oops, that's because it's blinking at me because I don't have anything in there. So then this one is great because that's not gonna show you. Put some water in there. So this one I love because it has so many different settings. You have, I think it's like 11 different colors, and it's got a candlelight setting. It's got a low mist. So I'm going to change the color. So there's the low, this is like half light. And then we have a candlelight, which is so pretty. Flickers. It's kind of too bright. We've got a red light. Oh, the first red light is it goes like a rainbow of colors, like it'll change colors for you. So this one's orange. You can't tell it it's orange there. It looks yellow. That one's more yellow. It's got a green. This is like a bluish purple. Let's see. There we go. You see it? Bluish purple. Ooh, there's blue and pink. And then you can, of course, turn the light off if you want to. So we use it with the light off every night, which is phenomenal. I use it for sleep. So that's why I was saying lavender, is we use lavender in our diffuser at night for sleep. You can also use peace and calming, which has more of like a patchouli smell to it, or stress away, which has a vanilla lime smell to it. Any of those are fantastic for sleep. If you have breathing issues when you're sleeping, it would be great to diffuse something like Raven that's going to support your respiratory system. My husband, when his allergies are bad, will add Raven with our lavender. It's like lavender eucalyptus smelling. Raven has 5 different eucalyptuses in it. So during the day, depending on what mood we're in, if we need, I just said allergies, if we need allergy support, I will diffuse lemon, lavender, and peppermint, all 3 together, just 2 drops each. And that will so help my husband's allergies. It's unbelievable. When the kids get home from school and they need to, or if they're working on their homework in the kitchen, even in their rooms, they have diffusers in their rooms, I'll diffuse lemon and frankincense together. They are fantastic for focus and they help with memory, which is amazing. Frankincense is just phenomenal for skin. It helps support skin cells. So when you get an owie, a bump, or a bruise, lavender and frankincense together, those 2 are an ultimate combo. They really support the healing of the skin naturally, not putting extra chemicals and things on it that will, so your body can do what it's created to do. Thieves, frankincense, and lemon would be my 3 go-to oils for immune support. So thieves, I will drink in, I will put in tea. I will put it in like a little dollop of honey with some lemon and hot water. It's fantastic. When you're diffusing it, it will, because it has cinnamon in it, it will start killing germs in the room, which is amazing. Lemon is also a detoxifier and frankincense is a healer. So when you combine the 3 in your body, it's really going to be helpful in getting your body on the right track. Those are just so good. Let's talk about digestion. Another one for digestion. So we all know peppermint is really good for digestion. You get an upset stomach, go for some peppermint, right? Well, Digize is another one that is so good for stomachs. It has fennel, ginger, peppermint, anise, all these things that are super powerful herbs that help settle the stomach and heartburn and indigestion and all those things. For me, I have a gluten allergy, and if I make sure that I get my Digize, if I've had cross-contamination or something, I'll drop Digize just underneath my tongue. It's very strong, but I'll drop it under my tongue and I notice that I have next to no symptoms of gluten, which is pretty amazing. I'm not saying it's my end all be all. I'm not going to go eat a sourdough, or not even sourdough, a loaf of bread. But if I think I've come across something, then Digize is my go-to. So I carry this one in my purse all the time. Peppermint is great for the gassiness, indigestion. You can dilute it for babies. You gotta heavily dilute it. It's a hot oil, definitely. Some oils for emotions. That's another thing that we use oils for all the time. We like to roll them on our wrists. Oh, you know what? I should mention rolling on the wrist made me think, for my son, he has major car sickness. And so we put Digize and peppermint in a roller for him. And he just rolls it on his stomach or on his jawline. And when he's getting sick, as we go up the windy roads to the country, he'll roll it on, and he has yet to throw up in the last 5 years we've been using them. So that's been a miracle. Not having to clean my car is awesome. Let's talk a little bit about emotions. That's what we're going to talk about. So frankincense is amazing for emotions. It's very calming. A lot of people have noticed that they will see a huge difference in their anxiety levels as if they're diffusing frankincense, if they're wearing it on a regular basis, that kind of a thing. emotions on a day-to-day basis, stress away, peace and calming, just that when you're getting worked up and you need something, what happens is our prefrontal cortex, the front of our brain, wants us to make logical decisions. And when we're in fight or flight mode, we can't make those logical decisions. So when you smell something, especially essential oils, because they're so powerful, little tiny molecules that they are, when you smell it, the sense of smell is linked to your amygdala. And your amygdala is where emotions are stored. So emotions are stored in your amygdala, but logic is stored in your prefrontal cortex. Well, if we can pass the logic part of your brain and get your emotions to come down to a level that you can handle, then the logic part of your brain can kick in and you can make logical decisions. Makes a huge difference in life when we're making logical instead of emotional decisions. So I carry those around with me all the time. Valor is another one I carry. I carry a lot for confidence. This one I love to put on the kids before a basketball game, or if they're going to, used to go to a birthday parties that, they might have. Just anything that might be overwhelming. The Valor just helps with a sense of confidence and grounding, like, okay, I've got this. Let's take this one step at a time and moving forward. So I like to use those for that. I think that the next thing I might say is just for like body issues is Panaway. So Panaway reminds me of winter, Icy Hot, because it has so much wintergreen in it. It's so powerful for all those joints and muscles and those kind of things. You compare it with peppermint or lavender and really get a double hitter on there. The peppermint will help penetrate the skin and just drive the Panaway deeper so that you can really get to the base of those muscle and joint aches and pains. So yeah, I would say when you are getting started with essential oils, I would say 1, you need to make sure you're getting quality oils. 2, I would make sure that you have a diffuser, because it's a great way to just try out lots of different oils as you go through. And then I would also say that you need to get yourself some carrier oil and some roller bottles. Those things are huge in getting started. Both of which I will send you when you get started with your starter kit from Young Living. So your starter kit from Young Living comes with all of the oils that I talked about, all 12 of them. Yeah, it's a really good deal. And it comes with a diffuser for $165. So it's a phenomenal price for what you're getting. And then you're also going to be getting the support of myself and of my team. We have an app that we use that has all these resources and recipes on it to help you get started. And I'll personally mail you a couple of roller bottles and a sample of the coconut oil and some recipe books too. So recipes, not recipe books, but different recipes for you to get started. Ones that are based on the oils that you'll have at hand and be able to get started right away. So thanks for listening and hanging out. And I'd love to answer any questions that you have. So let me know and we'll get together soon. I will put a link for the starter kit in the comments.